Great catch there by Theodore. That was ahead of Antoine Davis. It's Koshan Wang. Now to Matt Theologidi.
Theologidi sounds like a course you would take in college. Oh! Tough turnover.
Lucky break for the FlameThrowers.
So the teams exchange turnovers. And now Eli Kearns will...
Oh, nice crossfield hammer. Very nice. So now, they want to try to keep it on this side of the field. Oh, there's Lynn uncorking one.
Rasmussen gives chase, and Rasmussen makes a one-handed catch there in front of Jacob Bartholomew. Now back to Davis.
Oh, wow. Kearns is wide open, and Davis looks him off.
Rasmussen has it.
Good switch. Excellent switch downfield. It's a nice switch from Wang and from Theodore. You know, Theodore is beat. So Rasmussen's man was Wang. He's going to pick up the cutter coming into the end zone, and Theodore's going to stick with Rasmussen.
Here's Marcelo Sanchez.
Oh, pretty.
And nicely done there as Jordan Marcy gets on the score sheet. That might be his first goal of the season.
I think it probably is. We haven't seen him at home yet. I think he traveled with the team for their trip to LA and San Diego earlier this year. That's just what we call that a buttery forehand there from Sanchez. Very smooth, nice, even balance. Step out and just right in the spot.
Sounds like a glass of Chardonnay you just described.
Buttery, yes, oaky.
Don't forget to check out our very own Antoine Davis being interviewed tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. on Scubalicious Ultimate with host Lawrence McKendall, the live show featuring the personalities who impact the sport of Ultimate, live via Facebook Live starting at 9:30 a.m. Facebook.com/Scubalicious Ultimate. A new excuse to blab about flying plastic.
A new excuse?
A new excuse, or the latest excuse.
What was the old one? The old one was,
I don't think there was an old one.
The old one was like a questionable excuse or something like that. Oh, good pull. Excellent pull. Really good pull. Nice D. They've come down. They're going to try really hard. The markers here really need to try to keep the disc on the downwind side. Ooh, big shot.
This is going to be really nicely done here by Los Angeles as Wynn gives chase, leaps into the end zone for the goal, but that point all started way back with the throw to split three defenders there inside their own end zone.
That is his fourth goal of the game, if I'm not mistaken.
It is.
He is really putting on a goal-scoring clinic here. And if you're the FlameThrowers, you got to start recognizing, like, somebody put someone on that guy.
Brian Wynn with 4 on the day, 30 on the season, leads all Aviators scorers, although my stats are incomplete because it doesn't include the scores.
He scored at least 3 or 4 goals last night, maybe more. But I was standing on the sideline. I was actually coaching the Spiders last night. Thankfully, that loss does not go on my record. That goes on Coach Tyler Grant's record. He was out of town, and I was filling in for him. But when you stand on the sideline, you really get a much better gauge of how fast people are relative to other people on the field. And Wynn is super fast.
Short pull there from Los Angeles. Goes through the legs of Marcy. Dangerous throw there. Hangs up a long time for Kearns.
Lucky. Gets it around. Nice break.
Mac Taylor open in the center. Makes a two-handed catch.
Good fake. Great fake.
Oop. And that's going to be
Indeed.
taken away by Los Angeles. Rasmussen not quite ready for that throw.
Well, that throw is definitely behind Rasmussen. So that's not really on. He's not in position to make that throw. Rasmussen's defender did a good job of reading where that throw was going. It was actually in almost better position to make a play on it than Rasmussen was.
Chance defense come up from the FlameThrowers faithful. Trailing here by 1. Quick first period, though. Just under 4 minutes remaining, and a timeout is called.
Good time for a timeout. Smart time for a timeout.
That gives us a time to give a shout-out to some of our sponsors. Douglas Parking. Park at the airport. Know your car is safe and there when you return. Douglas Parking, the best in local parking. We'll take a short break. Back with more from Laney College here in just a moment's time.
Area Disc Association is a nonprofit organization that fuels the local development of Ultimate Frisbee, with instruction for new players and dozens of high-quality leagues and tournaments that help make the Bay Area a hotbed for this great sport.
Bay Area Disc has dozens of programs for people of all different ages, skill levels. So whether you're a kid just starting out and going to our clinics, or if you're an adult elite club player playing in a Revolution tournament, we have something for everybody.
Welcome back to Laney College. Stephen Davies, Matt Ruby, and Kirsten Fairchilds. A back-and-forth first quarter here with 3:39 remaining, and the Aviators more than up to the task of staying keeping pace with the FlameThrowers.
Podcast interview show on Facebook by our very own Lawrence McKendall. This week,
this is coming off of a timeout with the disc about the 20. The 30, excuse me. So they have about 20 yards to go to score here. Eli Friedman just checked in with the disc. He's a very talented handler.
Revolver player as well.
Revolver, former Portland players in the... Whoa!
Well, that threaded through just about everybody, but unfortunately the Aviators unable to make a catch.
Kind of the fall-down forehand there. He's falling down and just kind of whips an inside-out forehand to the break side of the field, but nobody's there to catch it.
Will get the disc on the
a couple of mistakes from each team here in the first quarter.
It is pretty windy, and it's a weird swirly wind. So there's going to be errors today for both teams. Even if they sort of do everything else right, the conditions are going to make things a little wonky.
As Lucas Dahlman, the only FlameThrower in all 6 leading categories.
Oh, wow.
And Sawyer Thompson got bumped there by...
That's a foul. I'm surprised they don't call that. Both players are just running with the disc over their heads, but Thompson was in good position to make a play there and clearly got knocked down.
Alan Lay definitely gave him a bump there from behind.
The refs might have decided it was sort of incidental contact and just let it go.
Here's Brent George.
Oh, wow. Just enough. Good job by the marker there to step around and make that a round throw, a little harder than it needed to be. I believe that was Nolan Walsh on the mark. Oh, big crossfield.
Nice catch by Nolan Walsh.
From Nolan Walsh.
There we go. Diving one-handed catch with the right hand to tie it up at 6.
Kind of a baby bookends from Walsh there. He's the person that stepped around and made that around pass, drift 1 or 2 inches further than the thrower wanted to go. You combine that with a little bit of wind blowing from that sideline, that disc is going to drop faster than everybody anticipates. And then a great read and a great catch from Walsh. That, again, you see that wind come in. That thing, when that disc comes off, I think Walsh thinks it's going to be an easy pass. Just starts blowing it and blowing it and blowing it. He has to really turn on the jets and come around and make a great catch.
Of the game for the quarter. That's
so 5 different scores now for San Francisco in this opening quarter of play. Lim, Taylor, Davis, Mossy, and Walsh.
Goes up.
If somebody can put the vice on Yen from the Aviators, maybe the scoring might drop off a little bit for them.
George and McDougan, the only other Aviators that have scored goals in this opening quarter. Or McDougal, excuse me.
Just working it around patiently. Oh, boy.
And a mistake there from Los Angeles. Can the FlameThrowers capitalize? They flick it back now to Cody Kirkland.
Nice throw.
And to Greg Cohen, who gives the FlameThrowers the lead. So the FlameThrowers punish the Aviators' mistake deep in their own half of the field. And the FlameThrowers have the lead 7-6.
That drop is either due to wind, where that disc is a little less stable than you expect it to be, and it just does a little position change right before it gets to the cutter's hands. And here's this great catch from Walsh. See that? He thinks that's easy, and then that thing starts to come over his head, and you can almost see the expression on his face like, oh boy, I better start running.
And you can see he had to look up 3 times
Yeah.
to check the position of the disc before he decided to make his dive.
Nice catch from Cohen there. Just gets his feet in.
Cohen, I think, has the same expression every time he scores a goal when he gets up. It's like, "Arr." Yeah, exactly. Let's look at the Flame. Must have got his shorts today.
Number 1 is last name's probably open. You can't really see. No number 11.
So here's Mitchell Steiner. We're in 14 for Los Angeles. That red diagonal stripe across the jerseys makes it just a little hard to see the numbers there, Rube.
Yeah, I know.
That was Koshin Wang, the first Taiwanese player in the AUDL. He's wearing 57 today for LA.
Keep it on the upwind side until they can get some yardage. Ooh.
There's Wang. Threads it through. And unfortunate. Los Angeles not to come up with a goal. Nice bid all the same there from, I believe it was from Mitchell Steiner. But wow, Koshin Wang there threading that around the Flamethrowers defender and almost with a very pretty goal.
I think that might have been Bartholomew, but Cohen knows that throw is going, and he runs to cut the angle and then makes the bid, but doesn't quite get there. Ooh, big shot to Cohen.
Kevin Cox.
Oh, it's going to float.
Oh, he makes a catch. Wow. Outstanding catches from Greg Cohen. And Nolan Walsh today, but that one might have been just a hint better than Walsh's catch earlier on in the quarter.
Wow, great catch. The D team for the Flamethrowers coming out, also I was saying that the Aviators earlier were coming out gunning, the D team coming out gunning as well. Not too intimidated by the wind here. Man, he's on his horse.
He is indeed.
He's on his horse, and oh, great catch.
I mean, could not have got closer to the ground with the knuckles scraping against the artificial turf here. Outstanding catch from Greg Cohen. And the Flamethrowers now have a 2-goal lead with 40 seconds remaining in the first quarter that went by very quickly indeed.
Yeah, good. Both teams have been pretty efficient offensively.
They have indeed. Here's Tim Beatty. Back-to-back goals now for the Flamethrowers. How will the Aviators respond here in the waning moments of the first quarter of play?
Looks like the Flamethrowers are playing kind of a junky defense here. They've got Davis and Thompson playing sort of a dual safety position. They're the deep. The term often in Ultimate for the deepest person is deep, which I think is kind of a funny term because it's so redundant.
Kevin Cox.
Oh my goodness. Good position from Dahlman, but the receiver had a shot at that. Oh boy, bad turnover.
Very bad turnover indeed, and the Aviators capitalized with just seconds remaining.
Unlucky break.
Wow, Thompson and Dahlman, complete miscommunication there. They come down and make the play, and then Thompson just throws it away. That is a gift for the Aviators right there. To punch that in just before the end of the quarter, too. They could have just held the disc, let time run off, and no harm, no foul.
So Zach Theodore capitalizes for the Aviators to trim the lead to 1. It's 8-7 here with 2.7 seconds remaining in the quarter. But as I've learned, Rubes, you can't count out either team with time remaining on the clock.
The quarters are not over until we hear the buzzer.
Yeah, that's right. I have learned my lesson already here in 2017.
Well, if history's been any indicator, what we're going to see here is there's going to be one pass to the middle of the field. That person is going to throw a floater into the end zone, and then Antoine Davis or Greg Cohen is going to run down, trailing the play, and just crash right through the entire crowd. This one is not going to get there, though. This is short.
That was from Brett Peterson.
You can tip it. They try it, and no.
Davis was underneath that one, as was Mac Taylor, but an entertaining first quarter ends with the Flamethrowers back in front here against the Los Angeles Aviators. We'll take a break back with the second quarter in just a moment's time.
The Bay Area Disc Association is a nonprofit organization that fuels the local development of Ultimate Frisbee, with instruction for new players and dozens of high-quality leagues and tournaments that help make the Bay Area a hotbed for this great sport.
Bay Area Disc has dozens of programs for people of all different ages, skill levels. So whether you're a kid just starting out, going to our clinics, or if you're an adult elite club player playing in our Revolution tournaments, we have something for everybody.
Welcome back to Laney College as we get set for the second quarter of action here in Week 8 of the 2017 AUDL season for the San Francisco FlameThrowers. They hold an 8-7 advantage over the Los Angeles Aviators. Stephen Davies, Matt Ruby, and Kirsten Fairchilds with you on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. The early days of summer here in the San Francisco Bay Area, but you couldn't tell it by the temperature, Matt. A little chilly and a little windy for sure.
Definitely windy, yeah. Windier than we've anticipated.
Let's go down then to the third member. Will be just a moment. We'll send it down to Kirsten Fairchilds. But to recap the goal scorers in the first quarter, Lim, Taylor, Davis, Marcy, Walsh, and Cohen for San Francisco. Brian Wynn with 4 goals for Los Angeles. George, McDougal, and Theodore. Let's send it down to Kirsten.
Talking about this first meeting between these two teams at the end of April down in Los Angeles, San Francisco was not only so impressed with the overall team speed of Los Angeles, but also how comfortable they were and are with the disc. I think that's showing, especially in the early going of this game. This is a much different team, so much more confidence after the big win. Tomorrow night, we'll have to see on this warm day if endurance is a factor. Back up to you two.
I think Kirsten's right about that. I watched LA last night. They were very comfortable. The Spiders, we tried all sorts of defenses. We threw all sorts of different defenses.
Oh, I almost pulled out the wrong one.
Really
Thanks, man.
Rattled. You never could put them in a place where the throwers felt uncomfortable. But guys like Eli Friedman, Tim Beatty, it was my first exposure to Beatty. I hadn't seen him before, and I was super impressed. I coached against Friedman in the past when I was at the MLU. The guy also won the Callahan Award as the best college ultimate player at the University of Oregon. He was a standout for Portland. So when you're sort of a professional handler, if you will, quote-unquote professional handler, that was sort of my job. I just jinxed him. That was a turnover. Oh, big forehand.
A nice bid by Brett Peterson. Just out of his
quarter play, but for the Aviators, it seems like we're seeing just a little bit of them in the turnover department in the latter stages of that first quarter in particular.
It's possible that the fatigue might be starting to catch up a little bit. Big shot.
And no chance there for Brent George. As well out of his reach. And just going back quickly, they lost a lot of players in the offseason, especially 4 players in particular went down to
went down to San Diego. Bellinger,
Corbett, Silverman, Bacon, and Bellinger.
And Corbett's going bananas. He was the AUDL player of the week last week, and I think he scored somewhere in the ballpark of he threw 5 goals and caught 6 or something crazy like that.
It's a nice throw from Kevin Cox for Dahlman, who makes the catch for the goal. The Dahlman opens the FlameThrowers account in the second quarter, and it's a 2-goal lead once again for the FlameThrowers.
Cox is coming out slinging. That's the second goal he's thrown. He's having a conversation with Tim Beatty right now because he feels like Beatty is bumping him on the mark and the calls aren't coming. And so tempers may be getting a little heated around here.
And you could see right before he made the throw that he was
asking for a call.
Yeah.
And, I think he's right. That's sort of a dirty trick, if you will, from defenders that was the running rampant USAU Ultimate where it's self-officiated. This is a nice throw from Dahlman. Good read. It's an okay attempt from number 3 there, Brent George. He's just going up to try to make a play. He's not trying to whack Dahlman there, and they both know it. But that little bump, as soon as the thrower catches the disc, oftentimes the marker would come up and kind of just give him a light little hip bump. And all that does is spoil your momentum and spoil your balance just a hair. So I'm happy to see that play is not happening a lot out here because the refs are going to stay on top of it. But also in USAU Ultimate, that has pretty much gone away as well, thankfully.
Hounding there was Robbie Cahill.
Gosh, nice bid.
FlameThrowers coming out aggressive defensively on this possession here for Los Angeles. George with space to work with on the left side of the field.
Wow. Doy throws him to a pretty small spot. Right back to him. They're keeping, you see how they just immediately went back to the upwind side there? That disc worked to the middle, and they just immediately go back to the upwind side. Oh, turn.
Turnovers starting to mount up again.
So as an offense, if you're going to work it off the upwind side towards the downwind side of the field, you better get a big chunk of yardage or throw to someone who's super duper open. Ooh, cross field. Great throw from Davis.
And Sanchez gives chase. Sanchez makes the catch. That's his first goal of the afternoon. And the Flamethrowers now have their biggest lead of the day so far.
We've seen Davis do a lot of very impressive athletic feats over the course of this season so far. You know, great Ds, great jumping skies, stuff like that. That's a really nice throw. It's a great throw, and it's windy. Puts it on a platter for Sanchez there. It's just a throw to space. It's a smart play because the disc is working to the downwind side. As soon as it hits Davis, he immediately looks to go back upwind again. You don't want to get the disc all the way to the downwind sideline. If you get it in sort of the downwind third, you have a little bit of room to work. But Coach Yo has probably told his guys, do not hold it on the downwind side. If it gets to the downwind side, you can take a peek, but then you want to start moving it back upwind again as quickly as possible.
So the Aviators trailing by 3. Look to cut into the Flamethrowers' advantage here with Koshan Wang. Now it's a low GD in space. Ted Barnett has it.
Oh,
Barnett
nice
goes
throw.
long, and that's going to be a catch for a goal. That should be Alan Lay.
Some kind of a busted coverage or something like that. Either a blown switch or I don't know what happened there, but Friedman was tremendously open.
So Alan Lay with his first goal, and LA trim it to...
Oh, that was Lay that caught that goal? I'm sorry. Oh, wait, hold on. There's a call.
I was going to say, it didn't look like they were particularly pleased that he caught the goal, and this is going to go all the way back into the Los Angeles half of the field.
Must have been a travel. A couple of throws back.
So the goal does not count, so
Nope.
LA still looking for their first goal of this second period, and Lay has the disc. The low GD threads it between defenders. Might have got a little bit of a tip. Los Angeles player unable to make the catch.
Flamethrowers defenders looks like they're sitting off a little bit and just sort of letting people come under. Oh,
And that's deflected.
oh gosh,
And
nearly
almost
caught.
by Walsh, who's made one tremendous dive and grab. That would have been off a deflection from Greg Cohen's throw.
Friedman with kind of the layout hand block almost there. He saw Cohen wind up to throw an inside-out forehand and just dives in front of you, almost like a hockey player jumping in front of a puck. Oh, nice D. That might get caught.
And it is caught by Los Angeles. Zach Theodore with his second goal.
Dahlman. We've seen plays almost in that exact same spot happen in the exact same fashion where a defender comes through and whacks it, but the disc just stays up. Got to catch your Ds. This is just a nice play from Dahlman. He's not going to get a chance to catch that. He just gets his head around and barely catches sight of it, hits it with his right hand. That was really a very athletic play from Dahlman to sort of jump in the air and spin and even get his hand on it at all is pretty impressive.
Full 180-degree turn that's deflected, and the outstretched Sawyer Thompson was millimeters away from making the catch as well. But Aviators stopped the bleeding momentarily. Zach Theodore now with the last 2 goals for Los Angeles, and it's back within 2.
All right,
8:14 to go in the first half of play.
Please meet Mark wearing the Flamethrowers golf shirt over at the merchandise booth to talk about being in the skills challenge. Jasmine Lynn.
Ooh, Taylor was open deep there.
Zane
Now he's going to come
Morrison.
underneath. Nice D. Great poach D. Smart poach D. They isolated Taylor in the middle of the field. He
And
took his man
Rachel
deep
Klein.
and then ran right across the face of the
Please meet
defense. So
Mark
good heads-up
at
poach
the
D from the
merchandise
Aviators
booth.
there on that far side defender.
That was from Nate Ransom.
Ooh, let that break around. That break. Don't want to let the around break if you can avoid it. That's 2 around breaks. There's a third one. There's a fourth one. Yep.
A little unorthodox there from Los Angeles, but it pays off. And it's a goal for Aaron Weaver. That's his first.
The problem with allowing, so there's 2 types of break marks. There's two areas that you want to break the mark, and what defenses pay attention to. There's an inside-out break, and there's an around break. What we just saw there were what we call around breaks because they're working to the I don't even know the best way to describe this, but it's going to be to the, in this case, it goes around the marker instead of through the marker, if that makes any sense. If I had a diagram, it would be a lot easier to draw.
No, I think the replay that showed what you were trying to
So the problem
describe.
with an around break versus an inside-out break is if you throw an around break, you could put the disc in a position where anyone who's defending a cutter downfield has absolutely no shot to get it. If you make them throw an inside-out break, the path of the disc is going to cross the face of not only the cutter, but also the defender. So the defender has a chance at least to maybe make a play on it. That was a terrible pull.
And that just hung up and then swirled back into the Los Angeles half. It must be the poorest break of the season, safe to say, here, Matt, at Laney College.
Wow. Nice play.
And how San Francisco punished them with Kearns' first goal of the day. That now makes 9 different scorers.
I don't know if that was a called play, but it almost looked like it, where the FlameThrowers are going to push everybody to one half of the field. Kearns takes the discs, like maybe a 6-8 yard pass to Lim, nothing fancy, and then off to the races. Nice throw from Lim though, because that's a pretty small window to throw into. Kearns was well covered; his defender was right on him, and the wind is blowing that throw down. So nice throw from Lim. So let me circle back around to what I was saying regarding inside-out versus around breaks. As a defender, the around break makes it much tougher on you. If you're already on the force side, once that around break goes, you're much further out of position than you are for an inside-out break. So if you get a series of those off, which we just saw, you could just kind of walk it all the way to the break side. Just bang, 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 around, 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 throw an easy goal.
Two goals lead for San Francisco. Tim Beatty has the disc for Los Angeles. Back comes Eli Friedman.
Oh,
Beatty works the sideline.
throw.
And making the one-handed catch is Brent George for his second goal. One in each quarter now for Los Angeles as they're back to within 1.
Nice activity from what I'm starting to really feel are 3 of the best players on this offensive team are Doy, Beatty. Beatty just gets that and does not hesitate. Nice, I like to call that a rhythm throw. You know, you get that in, you take 1-2 steps to get yourself balanced, and then you just drop and release it. Beatty's been playing. Beatty, Friedman, and Doy, you can really start to see some chemistry developing between the 3 of those guys. All 3 of those guys are very quick. So they can run these little kind of 3-man game, little give and go type of stuff and put one of them in power position to look deep.
What sort of dimensions Mark Albergan add to this team, although he's not here this weekend on the trip to San Jose and San Francisco?
Well, big body. There's a nice throw. Wow, such a great throw.
Almost dropped by Cassidy Rasmussen, gives the disc a kiss. And he knows he got away with one there. A big smile on his face. That's Rasmussen's first of the day.
Butterfingers. Nice throw from Taylor. As we've seen earlier in this game, he can really launch it. That's just a nice touch forehand that he's going to put up here. He kind of throws it a little bit higher than you might. That's weird. You were talking about adjusting to the wind, right?
Yes.
One big adjustment to the wind, and that was a great example on that throw, is that he kind of throws it up. Normally, you don't want to throw anything, you don't want to release anything where you're going to be floating it up because the distance is going to sit and hang, and you're going to give defenders opportunities to go and make plays on it. Interestingly, Mac Taylor is on the USA beach team, the USA National Beach team, that I believe Beach Nationals or Beach Worlds is next week. When you play on the beach, you got to throw. Oh, those folks look like they're having a good day at the beach.
Yeah.
It could be. Today would be a beautiful day at the beach.
It would indeed.
When you play at the beach, it's super windy, so you want to throw stuff, and people can't run that fast. So you have to throw stuff that sits. So you'll see a lot of people throw kind of high bendy stuff. Ooh, wow, coming through.
Nolan Walsh came out of nowhere there, and an injured player down. It's Alan Lay, and grabs his left knee.
Ankle, I think.
Oh, ankle, yes.
He might have gotten stepped on. I'm hoping he just got stepped on because that throw was coming through kind of a crowd, and Walsh drops off his man to come and make the play. either he stepped on him or Lay stepped on Nolan's foot and rolled his ankle. This throw, Walsh is going to come through here. That throw floats. Yeah, he rolled his ankle right there. Ouch.
Oof.
Just when he was getting ready to plant and go, he just rolls his ankle. So he rolled his ankle pretty bad.
So concerned Lay here as they tend to him.
Frisbee players roll their ankles all the time. So he'll probably be, in the long run, okay.
Don't forget to check out Waxy Supply, the most trusted source in clean, waxy sanitary supply.
Folks, give a round of
As
applause
Alan lays
for
back up on his feet.
68 Alan live.
And don't forget to check out our very own Antoine Davis being interviewed tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. on Scoobalicious Ultimate with host Lawrence McCandle, the live show featuring the personalities who impact the sport of Ultimate, live via Facebook Live starting 9:30 p.m. Facebook.com/Scoobalicious Ultimate. A new excuse to blab about flying plastic.
Marginal. It used to be a marginal excuse. Now it's a new excuse. Well, there goes Lay. Hope he's going to be okay.
He'll head over to the trainer's table.
Oof.
Leaping catch from Dahlman.
Oh, boy. Wow.
And that is Brett Peterson with the catch.
Dahlman to Brett Peterson.
The FlameThrowers, Rubes, are spreading the goals around today. That now makes 11 different scores. We think back to that, the game against San Jose, where I think they had 15 different scores back earlier in the season.
You can see the wind is definitely kicking. That was a backhand to Dahlman that he has to go jump up and get, and then that around backhand for the goal. That's sort of floating and bouncing a little bit too. So wind a factor today. It always is. As I always like to say, in the wind, there's no such thing as a routine play.
It doesn't seem like it's tapered off so far in this first half of play. Tempo of the game perhaps to slow down just slightly here in the second quarter, with 6:20 remaining in the first half.
Looks like kind of a nice way to break it. FlameThrowers came out in sort of a zone or a loose defense of some sort. Big forehand to break it right through the middle. Now they're back into man.
Tim Beatty has it here for Los Angeles.
This should be an interesting matchup. Byron Liu's a very good defender, an exceptional handler defender. Tim Beatty's is pretty quick. He likes to go deep from the handler position, but now he's staying home. There he goes. Really open, too. Oh, nice D.
That's from Sawyer Thompson.
By Sawyer Thompson.
That's on the Aviators cutter there. You got to keep going, too. You never stop. You got to keep running. Ooh, hammer.
Cox to Thompson. Just shy of the line.
Here's Lim.
Wide open.
Cahill. Here's Robbie Cahill, a new addition today.
And Cahill to a sliding Marcelo Sanchez for his second.
To Marcelo Sanchez.
Sanchez now with 2 goals.
Hey, when you're not at a FlameThrowers game,
So Lim
make
finds
sure
Cahill. Cahill's man completely leaves him. Not a good idea to leave Robbie Cahill unmarked. In fact, it's a terrible idea to leave Robbie Cahill unmarked. He was one of Revolver's top players for 3 or 4 years. They have Revolver has offensive positions. One position that Cahill played was called King, and with a name like King, you better be good. This is a great to see him stop right. There's going to be a D coming up here where he stops running, and Sawyer Thompson comes right through. Nice D. Also a new Revolver player.
Goes up from Greg Cohen.
Cox has been slinging it today.
In slow motion, you can really see that thing wobble.
Yeah.
It gets there.
So 3 scorers now with 2 goals on the day. Lim, Sanchez, and Cohen for San Francisco. It's their biggest lead of the day as well, with now a 4-goal advantage.
As I was saying about Cahill, he played King for Revolver. King is the guy who the offense really runs through from the handler position, which means he's going to have really strong throws, which he does, incredible throws, but also the ability to get open in small spaces. And you do not want to leave him alone. Wow. Nice, pretty, very pretty.
Very pretty indeed, starting with Ted Barnett and finishing with Sean McDougall, who now has his second goal of the afternoon, and that trims the advantage to 3.
Just a pretty, you know, it's sometimes you see throws in Ultimate that look like they're really trying, you know, they really wind up and really throw super duper hard, and sometimes you just see those kind of graceful releases. This is a great example, like graceful. See that? Really unrushed, nice and easy. He recognizes that he's got a man, he's got McDougall open by, you know, 10 or 15 yards. He doesn't have to rush the throw. Just nice, smooth, easy release.
Pretty sure we saw some disc volleyball after that.
That's right.
After the
Warriors. Have you seen what Steph Curry does before the game? He like plays volleyball with the basketball, football, a little bit of bowling, maybe some golf. So channeling the Warriors today, who I hope come out and absolutely trounce the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I have a feeling somehow if Klay Thompson's hitting the shots roops,
this
could be over in 4.
Yeah.
That way they were.
Let's not get overconfident.
No. All right, I won't say anything else.
Yeah, no, we don't want to jinx them. If we can jinx the Warriors from way over here, then we have more power than we can possibly imagine. Nice around.
Jordan Marcy wearing the long pants today. Here's Kearns to Taylor. Easy as you like for the Flamethrowers. Another goal. Their 15th of the day. And Sanchez now has 3 goals in this second quarter to lead all Flamethrowers scorers.
Easy is the word I was going to use, too. Looks pretty easy.
Man out of Castro Valley with his 3rd goal of the afternoon.
Backed by Marcelo Sanchez. He went to UC Davis.
Yeah, super easy.
Took the team to nationals.
Kind of, that was initiated by
and now
Kearns running up. Well, it's a couple throws back. So Marcy gets that around break to Kearns when Kearns goes up line. As soon as that throw is broken to that side, defense starts thinking, starts shifting, right? Then that puts Taylor in position for a flat inside-out forehand break, and then the around break. So the hockey assist is something that I wonder if Ultimate statisticians are going to start taking account for, because I think it's really important. The throw that sets up the throw, that sets up the goal.
So the pre-assist assistant.
Yeah, it's like 2 throws back almost. You know, the one that precedes the assist. Sometimes, wow. There's the win for you, huh?
And it just floats away from Tim Beatty.
Thompson's wide open.
And to be fair, Rubes, the Flamethrowers just haven't made anywhere near as many errors on the afternoon.
Yeah. That's all it takes sometimes.
Here's Cohen.
Cahill.
Davis to his right. Here's Davis. Oh, nicely.
Oh!
And in the second attempt, it looked like he did.
No.
Just out of play, Greg Cohen there.
Just out of play by Greg.
Man, small window for Davis to throw into. Cohen did get a hand on it, but I think he's got his concentration a little bit split.
I think he's got
got
it
to try to
twice.
keep his feet down. Man, that disc starts to float.
One.
He's trying to keep his feet down.
There's 2.
Yeah, he was out when he caught it the second time.
So a rare mistake from the Flamethrowers here in the second quarter. Under 3 minutes to go. Can they capitalize? They might have a chance. This is going to get around Davis for the goal for Ted Barnett. And now Los Angeles have 5 different scores in the second quarter.
That's Beatty, Tim Beatty with the throw. I love watching the ways different Ultimate players throw the disc. And if we can see this throw from the release point of the throw, look how far he's going to drop this disc. Watch how far. Look at that. He drops that. His release point is
ankle.
Is 8-10 inches off the ground.
Yeah.
But he can still generate enough power to make it go a long way. But fun to watch that.
So we have an injury.
I think it's kind of like a nerdy Frisbee thing to watch, though.
I think we have an injury update from Kirsten Fairchild from Alan Lay. Let's send it down to her.
Just over 2.5 to go.
Mini collision. Walsh with a gesture your sportsmanship went over to him at the training table as he was getting his left ankle attended to and said, hey man, I didn't mean anything about it.
Well, it's a pretty rough-looking injury, but like I said, Ultimate players a lot of guys roll their ankles a lot, so you can recover from those things pretty quickly.
But it's good sportsmanship of Nolan Walsh to go over there and check on him as well. Here's Mac Taylor giving chase to this one. Takes the bounce off his hand and
Pats
out of
himself
play.
on the head. That's what he's saying. My fault, my fault, my fault.
LA looking for a fast break.
See if the Aviators can do anything with this. They got a long way to go here. Nice cut from McDougal.
Just around
nice mark from great mark from Sanchez. There was a man open up field. Sanchez prevents any throw from going to him.
Nick Ransom. Hounded here by Justin Lim.
Here's the around break. But they don't mind if it's down there. That around break does not bother the FlameThrowers defense. Keep it on that. You notice how Marcy on that throw, he just runs completely off his man to stop any continuation. It's okay if it's on that side of the field.
Jacob Bartholomew goes long, and Davis makes the D. Timed his leap to perfection. And now Sanchez and Rasmussen.
Whips it up to the upwind side. Easy one to Taylor. There goes Kearns.
Plenty of time remaining. Taylor.
Oh, someone's dropped in. Theodore drops in to help out. Completely abandons his man. Wow. Is he going to make this play?
It wasn't far off from Eli Kearns. He takes a tumble there right on the shot put mat.
Wow, Kearns nearly got that. Theodore thinks he's got it the whole way. He's like, this is going to be easy.
Just
and then Kearns turns on the jets and just sneaks by him.
I think he thought it was just going to go out of play, right?
Yeah.
And he gets muscled out, loses position.
He nearly makes the catch.
And then has to turn into a defender there to prevent Kearns from making the grab right in the corner of the end zone.
Inside-out break. Those inside-out breaks often
30 seconds left in the half.
Ooh, that's a nice throw to space.
Nicely done there from Koshin Wang.
Ooh, stuff.
The block from Cassidy.
Now this time left for the FlameThrowers with 20 seconds remaining.
Plenty of time to score.
15 seconds.
With a 3-goal lead.
Oh, wow.
Oh, he threads it through. Wow. To Cohen for the goal, or to Matt Taylor for the goal.
Assist from Eli Kearns to
just slips by him, makes the correct read. He knows where he thinks that throw is
just
going.
Just under 10 seconds
runs
for
to
LA as they get the
right
gift.
spot, but that throw just slips by him.
There's Eli Kearns with the throw.
Yeah, Kearns winds up. That's the difference between like a buttery throw and one that you really. Ooh, man, he nearly got there.
Wow, over his fingertips.
That's also into the teeth of the wind. That's a hard throw. That's a very hard throw.
Any lower, that would have sliced the fingerprints right off his off his digits.
Lost his fingernails.
Yeah,
Remember, with under
that's
30
true.
seconds
Yeah,
left
that's
in
what I
the
should have
quarter.
said. Actually.
9 seconds left.
Free manicure there at the end of the quarter.
They can definitely work out 2 or 3 throws before they need to take a shot into the end zone. And Yen is in here, and that's the guy they're going to throw it to. That's the guy they want to find.
Zach Theodore is deep as well for Los Angeles. And that throw is going to be well shy off the target. But the buzzer sounds at the end of the first half of play here from Laney College. And the FlameThrowers, after trading goals in the first quarter, have opened up a lead here as we get ready for the second half. It's 16-12. San Francisco as they look to be level with the San Jose Spiders. It's 6-2 apiece if they're able to take the victory here today. So Kirsten is down on the field with Yo Kawaoka. Let's send it down to her.
Thanks so much, Stephen and Matt. Coach, you're up by 4 at the break in a day game. How are you feeling about the effort on the field from the FlameThrowers?
I think our physical energy is really good, but I think our mental energy is a little waxy. So we'll improve on that in the second half.
I know that the win last night for LA over San Jose kind of opened some eyes around the league. Did it open your eyes?
Well, I think the way LA won wasn't a surprise. They're very athletic, very fast, and then on offense they're really patient as well. So I think all those pieces came together for them last night, and then their D team executed and scored some goals.
Thanks so much, Coach. Good luck in the
Thank
second
you.
half. Stephen, Matt?
Thank you, Kirsten. Coach Yokawaoka then praising his physical energy. The mental energy, though, maybe just lacking a little bit there, Rubes.
They look okay to me. I haven't seen anything that seems to be glaring. There haven't been any really blown defensive assignments. I think if the game plan is to keep the discount back inside, they're generally doing a good job of that. That seems to be part of what they're trying to do. So he knows better than I do. He's standing on the sideline. If that's how he feels, and maybe he's seeing some things on the sideline or hearing things on the sideline that I'm not. But I don't think he has too much to worry about right now.
FlameThrowers looking to make it back-to-back victories here at home. We'll take a break, back with more from Laney College in a few moments' time.
Your life is filled with great stuff, and we know that protecting all of it with someone you can trust is very important. Geico has been a trusted insurer for over 75 years, and we have a local office in your area. So call us or come on in. We'll spend some time with you to make sure you have the right coverage to protect all your great stuff. Geico. Savings at your local office.
The Bay Area Disc Association is a nonprofit organization that fuels the local development of Ultimate Frisbee, with instruction for new players and dozens of high-quality leagues and tournaments that help make the Bay Area a hotbed for this great sport.
Bay Area Disc has dozens of programs for people of all different ages, skill levels. So whether you're a kid just starting out, going to our clinics, or if you're an adult elite club player playing in our Revolution tournaments, we have something for everybody.
Our work is something to be proud of. We make the products people use, the products that make their lives simpler, the high-tech tools to help defend our country, and the innovations that will shape the future. Some say American industry can't keep up anymore. I say our work is proof that made in the USA still means something. The power professionals of the IBEW, proudly American, proudly union.
One of our successes has always been able to find the B personalities, and the B personality just stands for Butler, which means fitting into our organization. We could have been a much bigger company if we had chosen to be, but it's been the philosophy of both myself, Bill, and the leadership team to stay at a size that we really know all of our team members and their family members, because we're only as good as the team member sitting next to us.
Welcome back to Laney College. Here, the 2017 AUDL season's in week number 8, and the San Francisco FlameThrowers with a 16-12 lead, courtesy of Marcelo Sanchez's 3 goals to lead all scorers for the FlameThrowers. We have an interview then, Coach, with Dr. Monica Anderson. Kirsten Fairchild is with her. Let's send it down to Kirsten.
Halftime at Laney College, and I'm joined by the San Francisco FlameThrowers team doctor, Dr. Monica Anderson. Dr. Monica, thank you so much for joining us at halftime. What are some of the injuries that are prevalent in Ultimate Disc?
So we have a lot of running injuries similar to like football and soccer, with hamstrings. If you saw the first half, an ankle sprain, but also other than the hamstrings, knees, ankles, a lot of like shoulder issues if they're diving on it, and bumps and bruises.
What are your responsibilities during a game and in between weeks, in between games?
That's a great question. Before the game, a lot of like the ankle taping, myofascial work, rock taping, chiropractic adjustments, and then during the game, if anything happens on field, whether it's an injury, a collision, that kind of stuff, anyone goes down, and then between games, checking in on them. I do a lot of exercise rehab, giving them exercises to do, make sure they stay on top of it too.
Well, you're so popular with the players. What is your history? What is your experience with Ultimate Disc?
I actually started playing in college at UC San Diego. I was a swimmer, surfer, water polo player, and my best friend Angela convinced me to play Ultimate Frisbee. So I started playing, moved to the Bay Area for grad school, started working with Ultimate Frisbee players, and I've never looked back.
Well, thank you for joining us, and good work on the sideline.
Thanks, Kirsten. Flame on.
Flame on. Dr. Monica Anderson, the San Francisco FlameThrowers team doctor.
Thank you, Kirsten.
She's the best. She was the She was the trainer for the first year of the San Francisco Dogfish, where I was a coach on that team, and a lot of these guys are actually former Dogfish players. But she's awesome. I love her. She has definitely made me hurt periodically over the course of that year. I'd wander over and see if I could get any free medical advice. My calf hurts. And then she said, okay, well, I'm going to work on it for you, but you may regret it.
And you certainly earn your paycheck in this league when you have to deal with back-to-back games. And we talked a little bit briefly before today's game about the schedule and how it can be certainly difficult when you have to travel and you play games on a weekend back-to-back.
Yep.
And how would a trainer at this level of the game get your team ready for the rigors of playing games on back-to-back days?
I think there's a lot of progress in injury prevention. It sounds dumb, but it's true. Like, the way you warm up is really, really, really important. That's a huge factor. Just to have someone around who is familiar with the science and knows what's happening with sort of the newer discoveries and the newer processes and principles that are being put out that are used by pro athletes. Like, there's a reason why pro teams do things the way that they do.
Sure.
It's because, their players are their biggest resource, their biggest asset.
Let's take a look then at some replays from the first half of play here. And the FlameThrowers with a 16-12 lead.
This is Cox with this kind of bending. Oh, there's that's when Thompson got clobbered. It's a nice throw from Dahlman. This is a great catch from Walsh. He catches that disc. He catches side of that disc and really needs to put on the jets. Kirkland, this is a pretty easy throw here to Cohen. This sort of starts Cohen off again. I feel like he scores in clumps. He starts making plays in bunches, and that was his first goal, followed by another one. It's a great throw from Antoine Davis, cross field to Sanchez. Oh, Dahlman gets around and actually manages to tap that in the air. Another nice bid from Thompson.
Good point on Cohen, though. It seems like late first quarter, early second, he starts to stamp his imprint on the game.
And this is a nice give and go for the score from Eli Kearns, from Justin Lim. And that's that soft, high, floating forehand to space, like you throw on the beach, and Cassidy Rasmussen makes it a little harder than it needs to be.
This is safe to say he maybe took his eye off that ever so slightly there, Roops.
Great D by Sawyer Thompson when the cutter doesn't go to. There's that low release forehand from Beatty. Nice throw.
16-12 with 3 goals courtesy of Marcelo Sanchez, 2 apiece from Greg Cohen and Justin Lim, and it's a 4-goal advantage for the FlameThrowers at the break. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with the second half from Laney College in just a few moments' time.
Your life is filled with great stuff, and we know that protecting all of it with someone you can trust is very important. Geico has been a trusted insurer for over 75 years, and we have a local office in your area. So call us or come on in. We'll spend some time with you to make sure you have the right coverage to protect all your great stuff. Geico. Savings at your local office.
We are back live at Laney College here in Oakland, the San Francisco FlameThrowers, and we're ready, almost ready, I should say, for the second half of action here as the FlameThrowers have a 16-12 lead. Kirsten is down on the field with Los Angeles Aviators head coach Franklin Jin Rowe. Take it away.
Here's Los Angeles head coach Franklin Jin Rowe. Coach Rowe, a great start to the game, but then the errors began to creep in. What is your assessment of the first half?
Well, first half, we started out on fire. Our attitude was good, and it was positive. But then we ran into some difficulties. Credit San Francisco. They junked up their defensive looks on us. And, and we struggled a little bit with it. We made some adjustments, and I think we'll be fine.
Was it difficult to turn around from a night game immediately to an afternoon game?
It's always tricky. I mean, these doubleheaders are always tricky, but we've done it before. We have a lot of guys who are used to it. So, I don't think that's the problem.
What did you tell your team at the break?
Hey, it's just basically, hey, we maintain a positive attitude, we fight hard, and we get back to doing the basics. We made a couple adjustments, and I think we'll be good.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Franklin Jin Rowe, the head coach of the Los Angeles Aviators.
What sort of adjustments do you think Coach Jin Rowe will make, Rubes, for the second half of play?
I don't know. I mean, I think one would be really try very hard to keep the disc on the upwind side, like find a way to get it up there and keep it up there. What a defense is going to do in a crosswind game like this is they're going to tempt you to throw that disc to the downwind side. And if you put it to the downwind side, they're going to leave people open over there, but maybe you don't gain a lot of yardage on those passes. They're going to be passes that are, they're parallel. And if you fall into that trap where you're going to consistently try to work from the downwind side against the caliber of defensive players, and this goes for both teams. This goes for the FlameThrowers or goes for the Aviators. If you're content to work from the downwind side, I think you're going to lose. I mean, I know that's like that's a pretty bold statement to say. If you work from the downwind side, you're going to lose. I would say 9 times out of 10, if you work from the downwind side, you're going to lose.
And Los Angeles, I think, maybe do have to cut down on the mistakes just a little bit here in the second half.
They do. The players that are making mistakes we haven't seen too many sort of boneheaded mistakes. We've seen more physical errors than mental ones, and the wind can really magnify physical errors. As long as you keep the mental errors to a minimum, I think they'll be okay. This 4-point lead might be a little too much for them to overcome, but they'll probably keep it competitive in this half.
Let's say thanks to our friends at Douglas Parking. Park at the airport, know your car is safe and there when you return. Douglas Parking, the best in local parking. To our friends at Waxy Sanitary Supply. The cleanest score of the quarter is always brought to you by the most trusted source in clean, Waxy Sanitary Supply. And the Ultimate Sports Guide, the ultimate in Bay Area sports magazines. Pick up one today by the merchandise tent and check out great coverage for all Bay Area sports. And Oakland Magazine for everything East Bay. Check out Oakland Alameda Magazine, free at shops and stands, and filled with great local stories and interviews. Office Relief, Rube, take it away.
The best in ergonomics in lovely downtown San Leandro, California. Run by Ultimate Players, formed by Ultimate Players. They've been around for a long time, and they sell some awesome stuff from great chairs to elevating desks. I think if you have ergonomic needs, they're the place to go.
We should have them get our chairs here for the booth.
I know. I need a hat or something.
So we could be 6 feet up here and see
just
everything.
Tower over everybody.
We've got this
in the entire room.
Yeah. We got this 32-inch monitor in front of us. A little tricky to see over it sometimes. Back to action then here in the third quarter of play. The FlameThrowers with a 4-goal lead. They look to be tied at the top of the standings with the San Jose Spiders, who were, of course, upset by the Aviators last night. So a prime opportunity here for the two teams to be tied going into Saturday's showdown here at Laney College between the FlameThrowers and the Spiders. That season series tied up at a game apiece. And Davis sends this one forward for Marcy, who can't make the catch. Wanting to call, looks around, doesn't get it.
Well, another ref is actually, I think, stepping in to make the call. Yeah, they're going to talk about it. Refs are going to get together to discuss it.
And that's more of a discussion to see if the rules of the game are, if they're going to honor the rules of the game between the two players, and it looks like that is the case.
Yeah, he gets bumped right there, right as he's trying to go up and catch it. So that's a good call.
So Marcy to Rasmussen to open the goal-scoring ledger here in the third quarter of play. And it's Cassidy Rasmussen with his second goal of the afternoon.
Marcy started that cut. I think that's why I said, ooh, Marcy. I was talking about Jordan Marcy. As soon as when Antoine Davis catches that sort of in the bottom third here, Marcy starts his cut and it was super open.
So the FlameThrowers with their biggest lead of the afternoon. It's now 17-12 with 41 seconds gone in the third quarter of play.
Yeah, a little inside-out high-release backhand there for the goal. So they come out, pick up where they left off pretty much.
Indeed. 5 goals now the advantage for the FlameThrowers. This pull will hang up a long time. I'll pin the Aviators back inside their own end zone. A lot of work to do now for Los Angeles to get back into this game. You don't want to go to 4-4 in West Division play and be a full 2 games behind San Jose, San Francisco, and Seattle. But still really anyone's division, Rubes, with 7 games remaining in the season after today.
Yeah, it feels like... Oh, boy. Hold on. Let me hold that thought. Nice throw.
Nice one-handed catch there by Brent George. He now has a goal in each quarter so far, and it's back to a 4-goal lead for San Francisco.
So this is a nice little... This is a nice 2-man game here. Doi... I was watching Doi throw earlier. His backhands, he throws everything from a real low, super low release point and a lot of wrist. That's what he does there. I think with the Spiders and the Cascades both really being so, their records being so dominant up till now, it's been easy for me to forget that there's still 7 games to go.
Yeah.
Like, we're just at halfway. We're at the halfway mark, and it's almost like you start just taking for granted that, oh, well, the Spiders are just going to keep rolling, or the FlameThrowers are just going to keep rolling, or whatever. But I think the only teams you can, really say that are out of it are the Growlers,
and Vancouver.
So it's a 4-man race for three spots in the playoffs. A 4-team race for 3 spots in the playoffs. Whoever finishes first gets sort of a bye. The number 2 and number 3 teams are going to have to play a playoff game to have the rights to face the team that wins the division the next day.
And ask the FlameThrowers how the bye worked out from last season. It didn't, because the Cascades beat LA and then San Francisco on the way to their runner-up campaign in the 2016 championship. Nicely done there by the FlameThrowers, and a goal for Kearns.
From Sanchez, nice throw.
And that's his second of the day.
So, yeah, I mean, things are really... I think that loss to the Spiders last night, all of a sudden, everything is in play.
Indeed.
Really shakes everything up tremendously. And I'm really going to be curious to see how the Cascades sort of push forward here. This is going to be a nice low backhand. This is a nice throw from Sanchez because little wrist, he keeps it low. Keeps it low and streaks it around the defender there. Bartholomew just bends it around him for a goal. But I was saying in terms of the division, I've only had a chance to see the Cascades once, and I feel like when they defeated the FlameThrowers here, the FlameThrowers, we were talking about how San Jose had a clunker of a game. Everybody's going to have a clunker. That was definitely San Francisco's worst game, and they only lost by 1. So my impression of the Cascades is I don't know if they have the depth to hang, but if they finish, if they're shooting to finish in the top 3, they're certainly in good shape for that.
The Cascades is perhaps the most perplexing loss of any team in the West Division. Their only loss coming to Vancouver this season.
Well, they lost to the... Ooh, there's that backhand to Cohen. Decent.
Did I get that wrong?
No, they lost to the Spiders. They lost to the Spiders at the buzzer.
That's
in
right.
Seattle.
That's right.
With no time running out, Chuck Cow threw a bending crossfield forehand for a goal. This backhand, Cohen's got this red the whole way. He's in good defensive position. He's not letting that one go.
Seattle have had the best part of 3 weeks off. They haven't played a game since May 13th, as LA will score here with Brent George. But
so we were in replay when that turnover occurred. Hagen and Dahlman sort of got their wires crossed. Just a mishandled dump sequence there. Dahlman runs upfield when Hagen's anticipating him to either stay or run backfield. Hagen throws it to where he was standing, and we're going to see that, actually. That's great. So he's going to turn back and try to throw this to where he thinks Dahlman's going to be. He looks, and Dahlman zigs when Hagen thinks he's going to zag, and pretty easy goal from Doi.
Seattle and the Growlers are playing this afternoon, so I'll try and get a score update.
Are they in San Diego or are they in Seattle?
Not sure. I'd have to check here real quick.
Okay. Makes it a 4-point game. They're still at Seattle, or LA is still in striking distance here. If the FlameThrowers offense starts to give them opportunities. With a lead this significant, though, they can just sort of trade goals from this point forward. It's going to be pretty tough for LA to get back in this. Ooh, Sanchez and Rasmussen working really well downfield as a tandem. Rasmussen clears space for Sanchez, and Sanchez comes under and gets it.
Well, San Diego, after 1, lead 11-10.
Big forehand. Nice throw.
And Taylor just about makes the catch with the fingertips. Kearns with the huck. Taylor with the catch. And they call him Attack Taylor. Is that what I just heard?
Mac Attack.
Mac Attack. We are in Oakland after all.
I guess if you want a big Mac Attack, that's the guy to find. Nice throw. This is at a high count from Kearns. That's a pretty high count. He had kind of peeked at the dump, and it wasn't there. And I think he just said, oh, to heck with it. I'm going to throw it in the end zone and let the tall guy go run down and get it.
So I made an error. It's San Diego leading Seattle 11-10 going into the third quarter of play.
Oh, wow.
So all to play for.
Well, if that happens, I mean, if Seattle loses a game, then all bets are off. At that point, everybody's within, what? I think their records would all be tied at that point in terms of record. The losses, anyway. I think that they don't have as many Seattle. The schedule for the AUDL is a little screwy, where some teams will be a little heavier front-loaded. They all play the same number of teams, but as the season progresses, sometimes some team... Ooh.
Oh, one-handed snatch there by Dahlman. And Walsh will make the Aviators pay.
Nice D from Dahlman.
Walsh is quietly having a steady game for the FlameThrowers here today.
I talked to Coach Kawaoka about him. He's, I believe he's still at Stanford, or he's getting ready to go. And Coach Kawaoka spoke very highly of him as a young guy with a tremendous amount of upside. That is not necessarily the cutter's fault there. That's a backhand that, as soon as that goes up, it immediately starts to blow up and to the left. And that's not what Doi intended, but that's what the wind does to you. You try to get something quick out, and your feet aren't quite set, your wrist isn't quite in the right position, your grip is a little bit off, and any of those little physical errors are going to be magnified tremendously by the wind.
4 quick goals then in this third quarter of play as we're just shy of 8 minutes remaining, has expanded the lead here to 6 for the FlameThrowers. Here's a huck deep for Los Angeles, and the catch is made by Tom Doy. And it's a nicely worked goal there. And Tim Beatty is on the scorer's sheet now with his first of the day.
So that's the first time we've seen Doy streaking deep. He's mostly hanging around the disc. And you can kind of lull a defender or lull a team into this false sense of security where they keep doing the same thing over and over and over, and then the next thing you know, they go deep.
Split Stu defenders, Beatty with the catch. Sorry, Thompson not able to catch up to that one. And the gap down to 5. Great turnout here then at Laney College this afternoon.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous day, too. You know, there's actually quite a few Aviators jerseys.
I saw that earlier when I got here.
A surprising number. Uh-oh, almost go offsides, and they don't. They almost ran offsides on that pull. Vert stack here for the FlameThrowers. Great inside-out backhand.
Rasmussen has it.
Taylor's ISO'd. Another really nice backhand.
Taylor flicks it forward to Sanchez. Sanchez to Davis. Oh, great throw from Davis. How about that?
Wow. Really
Great
nice throw.
catch from Kearns, his second of the third quarter of play. And Antoine Davis, you got to put him now. We talked about it in other broadcasts, but you got to put him in the upper echelon of players now in the AUDL.
I think he's certainly getting there, and he's flashing some of his skills today, some of those skills that we haven't really seen him, haven't seen on display so much as the season has gone on. We've seen a couple of examples where he clearly has a big forehand, and he's definitely showing that off today.
I mean, coming into today...
This is a nice setup. This is a nice little play here where they're gonna work it underneath, and then this is a super nice. That's a great throw. It rises up to around 8-10 feet and drops in where you need it. And on days like today, I mean, look how windy that is. The wind is really blowing. The people with the best throws, the teams with the best throws are gonna have huge advantages. They usually have a significant advantage just in general, but on windy days. Just like the wind can magnify mistakes, it can also magnify strengths. If you have a bunch of really good throwers on a windy day, it improves your chances of winning dramatically. Nice mark. That's a no-dump mark. They're not letting the dump off. They want to keep it on this side of the field. Dahlman's going to slide around to try to prevent the dump from going off. Gets the dump off, and now they're just going to walk it upfield. Oh,
nicely done by Los Angeles, and a goal. And the score is Michael Keoy. That's his first.
So you had asked what adjustment the coaches might make for the Aviators going into the half. If they did tell them to work it upwind, that was a great example of that. They started breaking upwind, and the throwers are going to keep looking upwind. They're going to keep attacking upwind. They're not going to ever stop that motion until they either work it to the top third or maybe even as far as the sideline, and then they're going to start looking downfield. Until then, they're going to start looking to swing it.
This coming Saturday night, a week from yesterday, we'll be hosting the San Jose Spiders for the third of 4 regional.
So the gap remains steady at 5 as we approach the midpoint of the third quarter of play. Mossy takes it.
The first quarter went by so fast,
I know.
And it really has slowed down a lot since then.
That first quarter, I think, Rubes is among the quickest played quarters of the year so far. Mossy up high there for Justin Lim.
And both teams were really efficient offensively, and that's probably why it ended up feeling so short.
Nice throw from Davis at the Taylor. Turns quickly. Goes outside to Lim.
Great throw. Nice throw to space.
A little low there for Rasmussen, but he's able to field it. Back to Mossy. Kearns. Rasmussen makes
put
a
something
cut.
in the end zone here. Find somebody. There
Nicely
it is.
done. It's Justin Lim with his third goal of the day. So Lim is becoming a force offensively over the last 2 games. 5 against the Riptide, 3 today against the Aviators.
Yeah, he's a good pickup. Big pickup, I think, for them. Another, like, dynamic downfield cutter who seems to have strong disc skills to go along with his, ability to be an effective ISO cutter. And that's what Revolver wants. They want guys who are going to function in space. And he does a good job of that. That's what Revolver and the FlameThrowers want. Everybody wants that.
2 goals in the first period, or in the first half for Lim. 1 now in the second. Doubled his season tally 2 weeks ago against the Riptide. Short pull here. Los Angeles. Trailing now by 6 once again.
Nice low release backhand.
Double team here on Kioi. Ooh. Walsh is hounding Brent George now.
Beatty. Keeping it on the upwind side. Got a double team in place. Gets it off. Ooh. Well read by Peterson.
Quick interception by Brett Peterson.
Well read defensively by Peterson there. That double team was set, so there was an open person running around downfield. Peterson recognizes it.
There's Kevin Cox going deep to Sawyer Thompson. He's looking for Thompson. He's got a couple of steps on his opponents. Hangs up long enough. Thompson, and it gets swatted away by Los Angeles.
Thompson doesn't even get a chance to jump there. I wonder if he got his feet tangled with one of the defenders or something like that. He's a tall guy. He's like 6'4". So that's a pretty decent look from Cox in terms of if you're throwing to a matchup. There's Doy, hits in the middle. Energy's definitely starting to flag for the Aviators here.
Been apparent since the beginning of the third quarter, safe to say, Rubes.
Yeah, it's kind of what we expected, right? We haven't really talked about that factor this much, the idea, the concept of the traveling teams, but the teams that have come to the Bay Area to deal with doubleheaders, they've gone to San Jose first, and then they've come here. That's just, I don't know why exactly that's the way, it's just the vagaries of the schedule. But San Jose has had to deal with teams that arrive and are fresh, and the...
Unlucky there. Great bid diving there was Brent George, unable to come up with it with one hand.
Oh, they call a timeout. Good time for it. But the FlameThrowers have not had to deal with teams that are sort of at full reserve. I'm not going to suggest they're not at full strength, because full strength, I think, infers like you don't have enough people.
Sure.
But just not a full energy level. We can get back to this later.
Yeah, that's a very good point you bring up, and we'll get back to that after these words from our sponsors. Don't forget to check out our own very own Antoine Davis being interviewed tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. on Scubalicious Ultimate with host Lawrence McKendall, the live show featuring the personalities who impact the sport of Ultimate, live via Facebook Live starting at 9:30 a.m. Facebook.com/Scubalicious Ultimate. A new excuse, or the latest excuse, to blab about flying plastic. Our friends at Airpark, park at the airport, know your car is safe in there when you return. Douglas Parking, the best in local parking. Waxy Sanitary Supply, the cleanest score of the quarter, is always brought to you by the most trusted source in clean, Waxy Sanitary Supply. And the Ultimate Sports Guide, the ultimate in Bay Area sports magazines. Pick up one today by the merchandise tent and check out great coverage for all Bay Area sports. Oakland Magazine for everything East Bay. Check out Oakland Alameda Magazine, free at shops and stands, filled with great local stories and interviews. Get up and out with Mountain Hardware. We have special passes to the employee-only discount store in the East Bay. Pick up one in the box office and go get beautiful clothing at more than 50% off. And Rubes will get his moment in the sun next time there's a timeout.
Floater. Nice catch.
So off the timeout, the FlameThrowers with a 6-goal lead. Here's Rasmussen here being hounded by Sean McDougall. Goes deep for Taylor. Taylor with a one-handed snatch between defenders. Now to Davis. Pinned against the sideline by Barnett. And that's underneath to Rasmussen for the goal. His third of the day.
Nice grab from Taylor. Thrown into a little bit of traffic. When this disc leaves Rasmussen's hands, Taylor is definitely past his guy. Aviators have done a really excellent job defensively. They're doing a good job of coming in crowds and really attacking floaters with a group. So this is going to get to Rasmussen. It's a nice catch from Kearns. That's upwinds. That's why that throw floats so much. Rasmussen uncorks this thing. There's still two guys in the vicinity. But Taylor with a pretty easy catch. And the goal back to Rasmussen.
Pretty easy catch, a leaping one-handed catch.
Yeah,
You make it sound like you could do that in your sleep.
Not anymore.
Well, these guys certainly can, that's for sure.
I used to be able to do it, make it look easy. I can still do it, Sound. Well, that's curious. You had not been exposed to really any Ultimate until this season started. And is there any sort of broader impressions about the game now that you've had a chance to watch, 5 or 6 games?
Oh, you're asking me that rather than me asking you the questions?
Yeah. Let's flip it.
Ask it one more time, Roops. I was not ready for that.
No worries. I'll do the play-by-play, and you can do the color.
Okay.
What's your impression of Ultimate after having watched other sports, and now you've been exposed to this one?
I think the athleticism, the sportsmanship, and the continuity of the action are what, to me, are very, very appealing indeed. I think it's a game that really the whole family can enjoy.
And when you say continuity of action, you mean it just kind of goes and goes and goes?
Yeah,
right?
It's not like football where you stop. It's not like baseball where there's a break between innings. It's not like, it's more along the lines of a soccer game or a rugby game where the action is more or less continuous. I mean, not like to the point where soccer, there's a stoppage, for halftime and so on. And there's stoppages here when they, after a goal and so forth.
And there's occasional stoppages for calls and stuff like that.
Yeah, but for the most part, it's a very, free-flowing game. And there's definitely a lot more, to the casual eye, there's a lot more strategy, as you've so definitely indicated throughout the season, that goes on the field. And there's a lot, I think, for the casual fan who just likes to see big plays and to see the action. But also I think there's a lot of strategy that someone that's into a sport like football can really enjoy as they get to watch more games. So it's been very interesting to see the different teams come out and the way that they play, and really the way, I think, for one thing, the way the Coach Kawaoka has taken a rotating cast of players and has still been able to achieve a high level of play and skill level despite, in other sports you think if you have different guys playing every week, then there might be a drop-off in the way that they play. But for me, I think he's done a really excellent job of being able to use his players in the sort of, to get the sort of results that he wants. So I know it was a bit of a rambling answer, but
I'm always interested to hear what people that have not been exposed to the sport, once they get a chance to view it, what they think about it. And I know that when you watch from the sideline, it's a bit of a different experience when you watch a little bit closer. But what you're describing is a lot, to my experience, to soccer, because I never played, and I know there's a lot going on, and there's so much depth to it and so much history that I know that there's strategies that I just do not understand.
But I already have plans on coming to the game against Seattle on the 15th as a fan, bringing my wife, my brother. So I think it'll be a great evening's entertainment for us, just as a fan, where I don't have to worry about names and numbers. How many goals did we miss during that, Roops?
Well, that one, that's 2 Aviators goals there. Still a 5-point game.
Well, who had the one before that? Theodore had this one.
I'm not sure who scored the one before that.
Come on, you're the play-by-play
I'm terrible
guy.
at play-by-play.
You're supposed to write it down.
I don't know how to do it.
Well, at the very least, you're supposed to note. Number 6. There we go.
Oh, the truck is bailing us out. Number 6.
So
Number
Brooks,
6 with the goal.
So Brooks had the first goal, and Theodore had the second. But they have trimmed the gap to 5 Roops. It's still a 5-goal margin. There's still a lot to deal with the clock now, most certainly in favor of the FlameThrowers.
Yeah, if they come down here and score this and make it a 6-point game, well, forehand to a spot, another one. Yep. That's to the foreside. Both those throws are to the foreside, so you don't love that. If there's something Coach Kawaoka talks about that sort of mentally maybe not being in it, we might see a little. I think it's natural when you have a big lead. You think you're trouncing somebody. There's going to be a bit of a let-off during the game.
I can tell you one thing to finish my answer to your question, that this is a game that I can definitely see playing with my soon-to-be-born daughter in the years to come, and I think it's something that I can play when I become a little older and, you know, the old body doesn't work so well.
Well,
it's still something we can both enjoy.
I'm living that life right now. Older and the body doesn't work so well. Oh, nice throw to space.
Dahlman with the... Oh, can't hold on.
That's a foul, yep.
And that was Josiah Mort, first time we call his name this afternoon for Los Angeles, colliding with Dahlman in the end zone. Here's a throw from Kearns. So was a push here on Dahl. How is it?
I think he dropped that. He dropped that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see where he...
Turnover, oh no.
And an injured player down, is that someone down there for San Francisco on the far side?
Yeah, somebody got clobbered down there. It looks like Rasmussen.
Dr. Malika Anderson's quickly out in the field.
This is the problem with... This is not the problem, but this is what happens when it's windy. That was a backhand that someone tries to throw out to Rasmussen, and it just pops. And it's going to float and give defenders an opportunity to go down and make a play on it. And unfortunately, Rasmussen got cleaned out in the wash there. We were watching that replay from Dahlman, and they whistled it in pretty quick. So unfortunately, I missed the actual play. I just glanced up for a second to see him get clocked. Okay, so here's the replay. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I think I'd love to see that again if we could. It looks like it was a backhand that doesn't float, but Rasmussen kind of gets clobbered by the defender there and gets spun in a weird way. Yeah, there's an off defender who comes in around his right shoulder.
Oh, his knee is kind of bent as he hits the ground, and then his body weight goes over the top.
I think he's probably okay. It's more like you just kind of get shaken up a little bit. And you want to
take
a second to gather yourself.
Was it Cohen, though?
No, it was Rasmussen. It was definitely Rasmussen.
Okay.
Take a second to make sure that everything's still attached before you get up and start walking around. Nice play by the Aviator defender there. He drops off his man, recognizes that Rasmussen has his defender beat, and comes around. And Rasmussen doesn't really expect the defender to be coming from that side of your body. Like, you just are generally working under the assumption that if you've got your man beat, you're generally going to feel another defender coming in. He doesn't feel him there. So now the FlameThrowers got to start playing a little harder defense and be a little better with the disc offensively.
So here's Mort with possession of this. Josiah Mort, by the way, wearing number 2 for Los Angeles. Here's a huck deep over the top. Couple of Aviators giving chase. And they are unable to come up with it at the third time of asking. Sean McDougall had the last opportunity there to try and reel that one in, but that's such a difficult catch to make with the disc bouncing around the way it was.
Man, if they caught that, that would have been an unbelievable catch. Dahlman
once,
just got a
twice,
piece of it.
Third,
I think Dahlman might have gotten a
time.
piece of that. I think Dahlman may have just barely gotten a finger on it. Let's see. So here comes the throw.
So much happening on this sequence.
So Rasmussen gets picked by the ref, so he's out of the play. And he's disappointed. He knows he's not going to be able to make a play on this. Dahlman, oh, yes. I don't think that Theodore actually stopped rotation on the disc. He gets a finger on it, and Dahlman just gets a fingernail on it, just enough to take it out of his grip.
I wondered why Rasmussen had slowed up the way he did.
I was wondering that, too. The play was going by so fast.
Yeah, but I didn't think a flamethrower play with a disc in the vicinity would give up as quickly as they did.
Yeah, he got picked. He got taken out of the play by the ref. That's just the reality of playing out here with referees. There goes Theodore, and does not stop rotation. Okay,
yeah,
so
he does swat it away.
Yeah, so Theodore actually got a hand on it, but doesn't quite secure it. And then Dahlman gets in there and taps it out.
And Dahlman's celebration afterwards says that he did indeed get a hand to it.
Looks like they're coming out in a double team here to start.
Just 6 seconds remaining in the quarter, by the way.
Okay.
And a drop
by
Dahlman.
On the doorstep.
Oh, and the Aviators
goodness
cannot capitalize.
Wow. Oh my gosh. They just rushed. That, unfortunately. Is there a call? I think they might have called the timeout. If the Aviators called the timeout just before that throw goes off, because it looks like they're maintaining possession. People are still on the field.
How much time? Well, 0.6 seconds on the clock here at Laney.
If I had to guess, I would say that timeout was called with 4 or 5 seconds left. I thought they might have enough. That's why I thought that throw was a little bit rushed. I thought they had enough time to actually. The thrower has enough time to at least look around a little bit before putting something into the end zone.
Man, we're at number 19, unfortunately not on our roster.
Definitely a timeout. Definitely a timeout called.
There's zero timeouts for the FlameThrowers.
So we're trying to get the timeout situation figured out here to see who's got how many. But the refs looks like they're giving the timeout to the Aviators. So we're just going to sort out how much time is left. Oh, and here is my moment in the sun. Ergonomic experts, office relief, chairs, desks, mouse pads, mices, mouse. I don't know what plural of mouse is. Is it mice?
Mice.
I guess it's mice. Mice. My old neighbors in San Leandro, great bunch of guys. They have a nice-looking website, Office Relief, for all your ergonomic needs. You can tell I'm a professional at this, can't you?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, because I'm sure that's what Office Relief wants to know. We have a nice website. Let's advertise that.
You should be doing the video for him.
Yeah.
Clock will start when the throw goes off.
So 2 seconds back on the clock here. This is going to be a throw into the end zone. The one thing they want to stop is a high-release backhand.
Tim Beatty has a disc for Los Angeles.
Oh!
Threads it through. Davis tackles Aaron Weaver.
No, that's Nien.
Oh, well, it's 12. Brian Wynn.
Brian Wynn got clobbered by Davis. It's a goal. They're calling it a goal. Antoine Davis did play safety in a previous life, as he's told us, and puts a hit on him across the in the end zone. I don't think there's definitely nothing malicious there. No one's really going to get hurt on that play because no one's running that fast. They're just kind of rolling around at that point. But that's a goal.
Brian Wynn's fifth goal at the end of the third quarter has trimmed the advantage to 4. It's 23-19 FlameThrowers with 12 minutes to go here at Laney College.
What a sequence. There's a big huck. Dahlman comes out and taps it out. They immediately turn it over. The FlameThrowers immediately turn it over, and then Aviators pick it up, attempt a goal, a shot in the end zone, which is incomplete, but good call by Aviators head coach to call a timeout in that tiny window.
So we'll send it down to Kirsten, who will tell us a little bit about the first Taiwanese play in the AUDL, Koshin Wang.
There's a great story on the Los Angeles sideline. Wearing number 57, it's a 27-year-old native from Taiwan, Koshin Wang. His government actually sponsored him to come to the United States to play professional ultimate disc, and the citizens of Taiwan crowdfunded to raise the funds to bring him here for a year. He's having a tremendous time playing for this Los Angeles squad, living down in Highland Park. I had a chance to talk to him before the game. His English is pretty good. He said back in Taiwan they play a lot of small ball. What he's really noticed in the AUDL is how strong and physical the competition is, but he's having the time of his life. Steven, Matt?
That is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a very, very cool sidebar to this story. We knew a little bit about him coming in, that he was the first Taiwanese player, but to hear these crowdfunded, and hopefully his fans over in Taiwan are watching here today.
That's right. Ultimate is still a sport that's on the rise. It's still growing, and there's certain little pockets of it that I never would have guessed that they'd grown. Like the Philippines, we run an ad for Boone clothing pretty regularly during the broadcast, and it's got a lot of footage from the Philippines. Filipinos are crazy for Ultimate. the Flamethrowers here are gonna have to pull from the back of their own end zone because that was when that goal from Brian Wynn when he was just tackled, that is a foul that was assessed in between pulls, in between the goal and the pull. So here we go. So the pull is from the back of the end zone. That's going to amount to 30 yards. And the Aviators line up on the 30. Still a very good pull. Really good pull.
Well, they're down by 4 goals. Down by 4 goals are the Aviators then. And 12 minutes remaining in the game.
Flamethrowers are going to have to be careful here. They're starting to give some easy stuff away, put a little confidence, a little spring in the step of their opposition, who they really were throttling for the first half of this game.
Brian Wynn is open deep. He had a step there on Greg Cohen. And a mistake there leads to a turnover. It's called by Brett Peterson, and back the other way come the Flamethrowers.
There's that wind. There's that wind that renders easy plays or not that easy.
Peterson up top for Cohen. Has to make an adjustment. And Cohen is able to turn inside his man and make the catch.
Well, we watched. Cohen is a big body, big guy who knows how to position himself and use his body. Tom Doy is probably 5'8", 5'9". Cohen's got to be, what, 6'2", 6'3"? Yeah. So he's just going to hold position, jump ball. He gets a good read on it. Here comes he. Look at him rotate. Yeah. Look at him rotate his body to keep Doy on his back the whole way. Doy's not really going to have a shot at that.
And there's
against a guy like that.
There's the Greg Cohen
There's
look.
The look.
They need to get the fat head of Greg Cohen and just hold it up every time he scores the goal. You know,
that's right.
Just the intimidating face.
Get out of my way.
But he's been a crucial component to this Flamethrowers team this season. 13 goals coming into today's game, 9 assists. Up there in the minutes and points played on the season.
Brett Peterson, who threw that to him, they're college teammates. They know each other really well. Peterson's probably put that up to Cohen hundreds of times over the course of their career.
Former Banana Slugs? Yes.
Banana Slugs. Oh, and there's Beatty. Little blade. Nice throw.
Good catch, too, by Wynn. Wynn has the disc now for the Aviators.
Oh, I was about to say, gosh, he beat me to it. I was going to say, we've seen Wynn be very effective as a cutter. We haven't seen him throw much today. That's just that's a rough turnover from Wynn.
And a couple of mistakes now from the Aviators already in the fourth quarter of play where they really can't afford to make any the rest of the way. Trailing by 5.
Woo!
Sanchez to Cox. Kirkland is there, and Kirkland is tripped, can't make the catch.
That's an incredible D by Doy. He is asking him, Kirkland is asking for Doy to admit the foul.
Was it George, though? It looks
was
like
it George? I'm sorry. Number 3, I'm sorry. It's 3 or 9. They look close to me. Let's find out. No, Doy's on the mark. Okay, so it must have been George. Yeah, you're right. It's George. That's not a trip. That's a D. That is absolutely a D. And Kirkland is pleading his case that he had a chance to make the play after the disc was tipped, but I don't think he's got much leg to stand on here. That's just a great D by George. Really great D by George. Kind of a small window to throw into there. Definitely a risky pass from Cox.
Sure. So George has the disc now as he works his way past Kevin Cox.
That's a travel.
That was from Michael Keough.
Yeah. You see he catches it and keeps running forward. Nice dump defense. Excellent dump D from Lim. Oh, wow.
And
Byron.
the D made by Byron Liu. We haven't called his name much today, surprisingly, Rubes.
Kind of a poorly executed throw that results in the D.
And Sanchez with a one-handed catch out of bounds.
Byron Liu's D there, that's a forehand that kind of bends the direction that the thrower doesn't want it to go, and he's in a good position to make the play. Kind of some mistakes here starting to pile up a little bit. 3 kind of big errors, and those are all throwing errors.
Oh, nice thread there, diving catch, too. Really nicely done there.
Floating inside out.
That was Friedman with that diving catch.
Yep.
Still tricky even here in the fourth quarter to see some of the numbers sometimes against that diagonal red stripe on the Aviators jersey.
The one
especially the single
consistency
digits.
is that Doy, Beatty, and Friedman are definitely the main kind of resets movers for them. There's Beatty, but it goes around him. Oh, nice throw.
An easy goal, one of the easiest for the day, or easiest, I should say, of the day for Eli Friedman.
Friedman puts his hands on his legs, bends over, puts his hand on his knees. He's working real hard. At some point, he left the handler position and worked his way downfield, and results in a goal. So he is certainly working hard out there.
It's his first goal of the day.
Beautiful day, too. Beautiful day.
Hats and sunglasses.
Ooh, there's that finals hat. Yeah. Let's go Warriors.
So you know where she's headed after this, I would assume, right?
That's right. I don't think there's an AUDL franchise in Cleveland. Not yet, anyway. Maybe LeBron would like to invest in one. Maybe LeBron. Mr. James, we have a great business opportunity for you, a growing sport, a growing concern.
Carmelo Anthony can invest in soccer.
They could call them the Cleveland Burning Lakes.
Carmelo, LeBron James can involve.
I'm sorry, did I say Carlo? Yeah, I don't think LeBron's going to invest in the Cleveland Burning Lakes. Burning River. That's right. I'm sorry. I'm being mistaken. I'm being corrected from the truck. The truck always knows everything. Yeah. There's the Flame. Swinging the flag proudly.
Taylor has the disc there for San Francisco. Now to Davis. Making a cut there. Coming back for it is Greg Cohen.
Just got to be sure here for San Francisco. A 4-point game is not out of reach quite yet. Still a lot of time left. Oh, Mac Taylor with a great cut. If we watch this cut from Mac Taylor, that's kind of a little shake and go. He takes a couple of steps, stops, and then explodes out of it. That's the thing about Mac Taylor that's made him. He's a really good ultimate player on many levels, but unfortunately, we're not going to see the cut. But when he gets open, he is tremendously quick for a guy his height.
How about the head fake, though, by
Rasmussen? Yeah, that's in a nicer round break. And that's, as a marker, that is the last thing you want to let off, is that around backhand break. High count, though. Rasmussen knows he's got to get rid of it pretty quick, because I would say that was probably around 5 and a half on the stall count at least.
So it's still a 5-goal advantage for the FlameThrowers.
Ooh, not a good pull.
And that's probably the worst pull from the FlameThrowers today, I'd say. Out of bounds about 5-6 yards inside the Aviators' half of the field. But you think now, Rubes, that the Aviators pretty much have to be flawless the rest of the way to have any shot of getting back into this game?
If they go 100% offense from here,
get a couple Ds.
They're good. I mean, that's still not even good enough. They still need some breaks. I've been impressed with him, though. They played a pretty good game.
Tim Beatty goes long. Can he get ahead of this one and ahead of Sawyer Thompson? He can for the goal. So Tim Beatty has his second of the day.
Looking sharp with that jersey tucked in. I watched that a lot last night. First time I'd had a chance to watch him in person. He was generating a lot of deep cuts from the handler position, and we just saw one that results in a goal. I think he actually beat his man. And, oh, nice catch. Over a much taller man, too.
Yeah.
Thompson's a big guy. It's not that dissimilar. Is that the... Okay, yeah, let's see where he generates this from here. Oh, that's at around... Oh, that was Mac Taylor with that shake and go. The stop and go, the quick stop and go.
Short pull there from the Aviators. And Eli Kearns will pick this one up.
Oh, nice D. That's on limb. That is purely on limb. He starts to peel away. He starts running in a straight line and sort of starts to peel away from his initial line, giving his defender a chance to go and make that play.
Big play there made by Aaron Weaver.
That was Weaver? Oh, I used to coach Aaron Weaver. I love that guy.
Oh, that's a great throw, and unlucky there was Zach Theodore just out of the reach.
That's a shame. That's a wasted, really big opportunity at this point in the game with 7 minutes to go.
The Aviators, you feel, will not be able to squander many more opportunities like that as we're under 7 minutes remaining in this one. Marcy has it for San Francisco.
It is very windy. Did you notice that wind just pick up right there?
It did, and it may have thrown Marcy off there as that throw went straight to an Aviators player. And now can Mitchell Steiner make him pay? He's being hounded by Mac Taylor.
Yes.
They can indeed. It's a goal for Theodore. And all of a sudden, they're within 3.
When you see that throw that Kearns throws to Marcy, it rose really quickly, and you see that he really sort of has to snatch at it a little more quickly than he was anticipating. Then he tries to throw that inside-out forehand, and in this wind, that inside-out forehand is a really difficult throw. It immediately turns over as soon as it leaves his hand. The wind is definitely picked up. There's no doubt about it.
Because in that first quarter, Rubes, we could feel the wind coming into the booth here.
Here's an attempted inside-out. It immediately turns over and dies. And then Weaver picks off the trash there. Just an easy dump. They're going to be patient, wait around, wait for something good. There's Weaver again, and he would ultimately throw the goal.
But we could feel the wind blowing into the booth here.
Yeah,
we're at the east end of the stadium here looking west, and the wind just almost as that throw by Marcy.
Oof, wow, even this is floating. Man, to a wide open person. It's a good thing Walsh was as open as he was, because if he had a defender in the vicinity, that would have been a little more exciting.
So here's Walsh.
They're forcing him to the downwind side. The mark set up to the downwind side. Okay, wow. Nice.
Dahlman goes long.
Oh, somebody's going to get a shot at it.
Still trouble.
Oh, there's a foul called.
Swiped at initially.
I think that's a good call. Thompson's on his feet, and the disc is sort of floating his general vicinity, and then he got clobbered. So that's a good call. Dahlman winds up and yanks this. This is going to tip it to Thompson. Thompson's got a lead on it, and then he gets clobbered. Yeah. And it results in a goal for Cox.
So Kevin Cox has a goal. That's his first of the day. And that's with under 6 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter of play. Back to a 4-goal lead now for San Francisco.
That backhand throw from Dahlman, he actually throws this with a lot of outside in, which means if you're a right-handed person, you're getting the edge up, so the disc is going to kind of travel from your left to your right, if you will. That's because the wind is blowing directly opposite. He threw it with a ton of outside in. It still got blown, gosh, I don't know, 10 or 15 yards to the downwind side that he wanted to. This is going to be a pretty easy throw here. Little kind of a high release forehand. Now, there's something for folks at home. Just like Mac Taylor we saw earlier, where he has a kind of a high release point from his forehand, it's because he's right-handed. Thompson's lefty, so that wind is still pushing that forehand, so he needs to release it a little bit higher and a little more softly to get it to drop in where he wants it. Normally, you don't want to release your forehands with a super high release point. Oof. There it goes again. Oh, my gosh. Ran right by everybody.
Oh! And makes a great adjustment to make the catch for the goal. 6 goals for Wynn now.
Wynn has some jets. That's clearly a string play. Put it in the hands of one of your best handlers, Friedman. And Yen just runs by everybody.
He's still got plenty in the tank here in the fourth
He
quarter.
Really does. He's going to slow down to get position and get his feet right to time his leap. Great catch. He's around the same size as Rasmussen, who's defending him, so he knows he doesn't have to do anything weird in terms of, like, you know, push him out so this isn't a drift past over them or really get his, do anything exotic in terms of his body position. He's just going to make a read on it, get his feet right, get this timing set up to go get it at the highest point.
We saw Old Glory was wrapped around the flagpole early. It's now since been unfurled just a little bit, blowing towards the East again.
This game is not over. This is a 3-point game with 5.5 minutes to go. And in windy conditions like this, anything can happen.
Marcy gives it to Kearns. And now here's Justin Lim.
Ooh, good catch.
Diving
Kearns
catch.
bails him out.
Big time. They're putting pressure on the handlers now in Los Angeles.
Kind of running a little Dominator here. Dominator is when the three handlers just kind of give and go between the three of them. They run a Dominator there to about the 40. They're still going to run it. They're going to come out of here pretty soon. Yeah, now Kearns looking downfield. Goal.
Rasmussen with the catch. Really well-worked goal led by San Francisco. As Rube said, the handlers bring it downfield, and then Rasmussen finishes it off. That will be his third goal of the afternoon.
I don't know who coined the term Dominator, but it's a good one. It's where the handlers are going to just sort of run, give, go to one another. They're just going to give and go. They're going to give and go. They're going to give and go. The rest of the team is going to clear all the way downfield. They're not even making cuts. What they'll sometimes do is they'll make a cut if the disc works its way all the way to a sideline or the Dominators run out. This is a nice catch by Kearns. Bails out Lim on that one.
Saves the
to
point,
keep it
too.
going. Yeah, I mean, that was within 25 yards of their own end zone. If they turned over there, it could be disastrous.
Back to a 4-goal lead. Clock stopped, 5:01 remaining.
That's a smart coaching decision on Coach Kawaoka's part that with windy conditions like this, you don't necessarily want to start, chucking big, risky things. So if you keep it short and you're confident in your handlers' abilities to beat their guys sort of off the dribble with quick stuff, then a Dominator is a good idea.
I tell you who also has lots left in the tank is Lucas Dahlman. How quickly he got downfield there to get in the handler's face. And he's still going to give or present problems here to Tim Beatty.
Got it in the middle of the field here. They want to keep it in the middle or on the upwind side. Okay, now it's downwind. Let's see what they're going to do. Oh, they're just going to throw a goal is what they're going to do.
And
almost.
Catch made there by George. George trying to break away from Sawyer Thompson.
Nice.
Player open in the corner for the goal. And the elbow drop. The emphasis on that goal for Los Angeles.
The people's elbow?
That was the people's elbow.
I don't watch a lot of wrestling, but that seems like it might be a wrestling
There's
move.
Keoy, I believe. That's the second.
Giving LA a lot of credit here. They honestly looked dead to me about partway through the third. I thought they were done, and they're really battling. This was like right on the doorstep. Keoy is going to end up scoring this goal, and he runs right by everybody.
Yeah, you come off
There
from
he
the
is
right.
right
There
there.
you go.
Nice throw from Friedman inside out to break up that double team. A nice shot. I love those low angle shots like that because it gives you an opportunity to kind of see what the throwers are seeing.
Right.
You can really get an idea of the throwing lanes that you're attacking and how the cutters are flowing into those areas.
Rasmussen's going to go long for Taylor.
Oh, too much.
And an easy catch at the end of the day for Zach Theodore. So a mistake that the Aviators needed from the FlameThrowers. Can they capitalize now with 4 minutes remaining?
Indication on what kind of defense the Aviators are playing there. Theodore dropped off his man. He's kind of playing center field there. He's the deepest defender. Oh, that's just a drop.
And that's a costly error there by the Aviators. Rasmussen picks it up.
Kind of a scramble here
Mossy
for the
has
Aviators. That's good for them, though. They managed to recover. They don't come out with too much damage. Everyone's back in good defensive position.
Rasmussen now wide to Kearns. Rasmussen charges forward.
Ooh, there's a poach. There it is. Oh, my goodness. Someone came off and tried to cover Rasmussen going to the cone, and there was going to be somebody's wide open. The crowd is on their edge of their seats. Look at them all leaning forward.
Gripping final few minutes here.
It's great to have a really close, exciting game. Oh, floater.
And underneath that is Justin Lim. Sanchez has it now for San Francisco. Approaching the 3-minute mark. Rasmussen falls as he throws, and it's deflected away.
Oh, foul called, yep. Foul on the throw. He's either tipped or he got bumped on the release.
It seemed like he was bumped, and then as he went to throw, he lost his balance.
There's Weaver. Aaron Weaver kind of clonked him there. And there's a goal.
And it is a goal.
A little anticlimactic, but
for Justin Lim. And that's his 4th.
One of the big rules differences between Pro Ultimate AUDL and USA U rules, and this is actually true for every non-pro league, is that on any sort of call, it could be a foul, it could be a travel, or whatever, everyone has to freeze in place. That's not the case with Pro Ultimate. The only people that have to sort of stay in place or walk, they have to either stay in place or walk off the yardage, either penalty, either direction. Everybody else, though, can move. And Lim starts his cut before it's even whistled live and is completely wide open. That's just a mental mistake on the part of the Aviators.
Josiah Mort there to play caught off guard.
It might not even have been his man. He was just the closest guy. He was just the closest man in the vicinity there.
But that exchange between the two teams took 1 minute and 20 seconds off the clock. So there's now just over 2.5 to go.
No, that might have done it. That was a pretty long point. Yeah, they're just bombing it now. God, there's our man again.
Oh! He just can't come up with it. Aaron Weaver.
That was Stig there. They call him. Oh, I'm sorry. That's number 12.
That's Win. I know 12 and 18. I just messing up on that all day today.
Win, yeah. They call him. His nickname is Stig, but he gets 2 hands on that and still can't quite haul it down. It's a pretty nice throw, but you saw how far that thing bent to the far side of the field where it was released. The wind is really kicking.
So the FlameThrowers just have to be mistake 3 over these last couple minutes.
That's a really hard throw.
And a great catch by Cohen. And
he's going to go incredible throw.
Hucks this one forward, giving chases Byron Liu.
Very smart play. That inside-out forehand was sick inside-out forehand, and an incredible catch from Cohen. Smart play on Cohen's part, though. Great D.
Sawyer Thompson lays out, tips it out of bounds.
That's why sometimes you just pump it downfield, because then you get it within 30 yards of your own end zone, get a D, and you're in pretty good. You're in business here.
Dahlman, great throw there on the run and a goal, and that may well seal it for the FlameThrowers with 1:13 remaining. Should be an insurmountable lead now for San Francisco, who will move on to 6-2 here in the West Division. So it's time, Rubes, I think with 70 seconds remaining, to start discussing our player of the game. No shortage of candidates as usual.
Yeah, and as usual, it's like scoring by committee, you know? I'm thinking the person that I definitely see that had a big impact in today's game was Justin Lim.
Well, I agree with that, because he's had a huge contribution to the last 2 games.
Yeah.
Because he had his 5 goals against the Riptide, now 4 here today. And a player that in a season full of players that have had to...
This is a great catch. This inside out that got off to Cohen was just incredible. And then Cohen makes the smart choice there. Just bomb it. He had Byron Liu. He had a good matchup, but the best thing is he got it 80 yards away from their own end zone.
But Coach Carol has needed his players to take on roles during the season, and Justin Lim, his role has been performed to perfection here.
He's been really good.
Last 2 games.
Ooh, foot block from Hagen.
So Rubes and I are... Justin Lim, 14.
Nice foot block by Hagen. When you're marking there, sometimes you just throw your foot up and you hope. Ooh, there's a floater to space.
Nice, and a nice diving play there to prevent Kevin Cox from getting the goal. So the Aviators will fall to 4-4. 4 today, 5 against...
Yeah, I think it's been these past couple of minutes that... Oh, boy.
And it may be time for one more goal here for the FlameThrowers this afternoon. Dahlman.
Ooh, Scuba. Oh, he had a chance. I thought Peterson was going to throw Scuba to the back of the end zone because he had Thompson open.
Sanchez.
Woof.
To Peterson, and that's to Dahlman, and that will do it.
That will do it.
That's game, set, and match. FlameThrowers. Dahlman's goal, his 2nd of the day. And Dahlman continues his stellar goal scoring this season. That will be...
It's all initiated by a foot block from Hagen there. I got to give the Aviators a lot of credit. They won a big game last night. Let's look at this goal real quick. Ooh, there's a defender in the vicinity there. Kind of a little scoop inside-out backhand there. Easy one for Dahlman. But back to the Aviators, like they definitely get a pat on the back. I think that they're not, obviously you don't want to lose a game, but I think they can only view this trip as an incredible success. I mean, you beat the team with the best record in the West at their home, and then you come out here and put on a really, really good competitive performance against another very good team. And their energy level's been really pretty solid most of the game.
Indeed.
I think another thing we're gonna watch. Ooh, there's Beatty uncorking something. Tip it.
Oh!
Oh, almost. And there's someone in the back. Oh, my gosh. Brian Nguyen is like, tip it again. I'm right here.
That was Caleb Ferguson to Zach Theodore, and that was 5 yards short.
Oh, my gosh. That would have been the best Mac line ever. Mac is a Mac line's where you line up with a bunch of people and you throw really hard throws. So you see how many people can touch it by the time it gets to the last one.
So the FlameThrowers take 2 consecutive here on this 4-game homestand. Victories over the Riptide 33-20, and now over the Aviators of Los Angeles 30-24. Justin Lim, our player of the game. Kirsten Fairchilds will be down with him in just a few moments' time. Your thoughts, though, Rubes, on another FlameThrowers performance? They moved to 6-2 in the West.
I thought it was kind of what we've seen all season, except for maybe that Seattle game where there was, I think exhaustion was a huge factor.
Sure.
Offense looked good. I don't think they generated as many. They might come away from this game thinking that they didn't create as many Ds as they would like. I think the Aviators gave them a lot. They had a lot of turnovers, a lot of drops and throwaways. They got their hands on a couple late in the game, but in general, I don't think that they, really tamped them down all that much. Against this team, though, LA's got to come away from this feeling pretty good. Their offense looked, for the most part, solid. They made some physical errors out there more than mental errors, I think. And as a coach, if you come up and pull a huge upset, have this huge emotional high, you're going to definitely expect that emotional level to have a dip, and of course your physical energy level to have a dip. But I think what we're going to see from this point forward, and we only get to broadcast one more game, but there's another one coming up. All these guys are now in shape.
Yeah.
Everybody has held they've completed their USAU team's tryouts. They had to get in shape for that, and you can see the fitness improving across all teams, which is just going to make all the games better because people aren't as tired. Throws are going to be a little sharper. Your mind isn't quite as addled because you're not going to be as tired. So the second half of the season is going to be against teams that, if some of those teams had a fitness advantage, that fitness advantage is going to go away.
So Kirsten Fairchilds is down on the field with our player of the game, Justin Lim.
Thanks, guys. I don't know if Justin Lim is modest, reluctant, or whatever, but he practically walked so slowly over here. Why so modest, Justin? You had such a terrific game.
I don't know. I don't really like the spotlight very much. Prefer to kind of lay low. And I've never been interviewed before for Frisbee. So
I promise to ask easy questions, and you better get used to it because we FlameThrower fans have had their eyes on you for a while. Tell us what it was like out on the field today.
It was hot. We were pretty tired, and it's just a really hard-fought game. I think both sides were tired. Like the LA played San Jose last night, so they've got to be gassed too.
Yeah, and a big win for them, a bit of a surprise.
Yeah.
I'm sure they came in here with a lot of confidence today. Was it important to get out to a quick start?
Yeah, definitely. Came out just trying to play really aggressive, hard defense and execute on offense.
Yeah. How good is this FlameThrowers team?
We're good. I mean, it's kind of hard to say just because our roster kind of rotates a bunch, and so it's a different group of guys each time. But we draw largely from the Revolver team, and so we think we're pretty skilled. Yeah.
Not only a great performance on the field today, you did a great job in this interview.
Thank you.
Go join your teammates. Justin Lim, what a terrific effort out on the field. Steven, Matt, back up to you.
Definitely. It's been fun watching the guys who have come out and our players of the game. 2 weeks have been two guys that are new to this team, Antoine Davis
and
now Justin Lim. So it's nice to see young guys play well and also be, humble about it. It's great.
Lim with 9 goals over the last 2 games, 5 against the Riptide, 4 today to lead all FlameThrowers scorers. Brian Wynn with 6 to lead all scorers today, and his team as well. 6 days from now, we'll be back here at Laney College for the 3rd game of 4 against the San Jose Spiders, the penultimate home game of the 2017 AUDL schedule for the San Francisco FlameThrowers. We invite you to join us here at Laney College in 6 days from now as the FlameThrowers welcome the Spiders to town. It should be another epic battle between the 2 local rivals here in the AUDL. Final score then, once again, San Francisco 30, Los Angeles 24 for our entire crew, including our director, Jim Petramilli, for Matt Ruby, and for Kirsten Fairchild. My name is Stephen Davies. We're looking forward to next Saturday night. Hope you join us. Till then, ciao for now.